Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Sweat Equity. You obviously are launching something. The sunglasses. You only dress like that when you're prepping to
Yeah,
launch something or you're working on something.
for sure. I mean, as a part of the course arc, I wanted to start looking the part. This is also my Alex Garcia Halloween costume. I just needed some color tinted sunglasses to. I'm just a little late though.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. I
you don't
yeah.
like them? No, it's
I don't.
cool. Just
I don't
saying.
like. It's not that I don't like them. I don't like them on me. I've never been able to pull off like very circular frames.
I thought you looked good. In
I
all
don't know.
seriousness, let's move on from that. So what do you got today?
So I'm gonna go a little rapid fire. I haven't had time. I'm not even gonna lie. That much time to prep
Or
with all the Black Friday,
No.
Cyber Monday campaigns.
Happy to carry.
So I have put together essentially an extension of my good content versus bad content of just random shit that I've been collecting. And I was just going to go rapid fire through them
Yeah,
with different content ideas and clips and then the learnings from them and then some takeaways that brands can take from that. Outside of that, I ain't got shit. Straight up. It's
this
that kind of week. Past
almost
couple weeks.
virtual guarantee. This will be our most widely reached podcast. Then.
100%.
Yeah, the least effort you put in, the better. Well, today I'm going to give just a full overview of the 0 to 100K TikTok shop playbook. So right now, our agency's working with a lot of brands, and we're about to have our first $1 million month with one of our shops that we've owned the whole process end to end. So felt like, at this point I am qualified to actually talk about what you need to do some real numbers on there. And there's a lot of nuance to the platform, and a lot of people are getting a lot of different information from a lot of sources. And so this podcast will allow people to basically understand like how to create content that sells, how to work with thousands of affiliates, and how to run your ads in a way that you're guaranteed to get a profitable ROI rather than losing your shorts and losing a bunch of money on the platform.
Go right into it.
This is something that I'm not even sure how long I'm comfortable with like keeping online, because I'm going to sell this as a course. Like I plan on selling this for like $2,000 to $3,000 here pretty soon, because a lot of brands don't have the money to pay my agency fees. And this is something that it seems like a lot of people need, because there's just so much misinformation about the platform. Like you're getting told to, go live every day, and like that's not remotely accurate about what you should actually be focused on. So definitely.
Hey, I won't lie. I was there when you went live that first time in LA.
Oh,
Yeah. You sold one Hexclad pan.
Yeah.
It was like 2 hours.
Yeah. On an influencer with 3 million followers,
Which
we
is
went live for
crazy.
2 hours and we sold one pan.
pan.
So, obviously the live
That boy was
streaming.
turnt when that pan was sold. I remember.
Bro, you remember it was at the buzzer?
It was at the buzzer. It was at the end.
We
It
had
was
we
at
had
the end of
5
the
minutes
day.
left in the live stream, and I'm thinking, damn, Hexclad's about to fire me.
And I remember before you started to, you're like, I just need to sell one, bro. We just need to get one out the door.
I was in the checkout stage on my own iPhone.
You about to buy it
I
yourself.
was about to cop one. But yeah, so how do you get started with TikTok Shop in 2025? It starts with your hero SKU. So this is direct from TikTok in terms of their strategy guidance. You want to focus on one singular product. Why is that? The way that TikTok's algorithm works is everything compounds, whether that's sales, content, reviews, your shop health score. All of it compounds around how the platform is perceiving your product. So if people are buying it frequently, if affiliates are creating a bunch of videos about it, if you're feeding the algorithm with your organic content, that is always going to provide a rising tide that lifts all boats situation. What you want to focus on with your hero SKU is a few things. So number one, you want to be in the $20 to $30 price point. TikTok has some insane data on conversion rate at different pricing thresholds, to the point where you almost don't want to be outside of those parameters. Like if you're not between $20 and $40, then you basically have to be selling a knockoff product to be remotely competitive. And what do I mean knockoff product? You'll randomly see sometimes there's stuff like there's a Dyson vacuum that's like $600. Well, on TikTok, someone is selling a Chinese version for $100. A product like that can sell for $100.
I've been seeing people do that with like the crate gummies. For example, people have been making like knockoff crate gummies and selling those on TikTok Shop.
100%. There's a
all that.
lot of different ways to sell higher AOV, but you'll generally find that's when it's borderline like Alibaba vibes of a well-known appliance or something like that. So TikTok's internal data will tell you like $20 to $40 is absolutely the price point you need to be at. And that is pretty much the only path to real scalability, which is a ton of purchases, training the algorithm to continue to boost you across the different places that you can show up. So where are those places you can show up? There's obviously the For You page, which is shoppable video, but there's also the shop tab, which is kind of growing in terms of like how many people are on there looking for deals, looking for new products. And I think that's a really underrated place that brands will try and focus on. Is that shop tab is a great place to get exposed via TikTok's actual subsidies. So TikTok will put brands that cooperate with them on the shop tab. If a brand has a bad health score, if they're not fulfilling on time, if they're not collaborating with affiliates, creating enough content, like they won't promote you on the shop tab. And that basically takes like 30% of your exposure off the table right off the bat. The other thing you want to think about with hero SKUs is think of it this way. It's either got to be low risk or high value. So what do I mean by that? With a lot of consumable products, say you're a premium product and you might be 20 to 30% above market, but that's because you have great ingredients. That's because you have a functional beverage. Think about all the mushroom coffees of the world. Everyday Dose is a brand that's on there right now. Everyday Dose does around 150 million a year in revenue. I have on good sources, and they are a mushroom coffee brand that sells up market. They're pretty expensive, like 35, 40 bucks for a month's supply. And maybe way more. I actually think it's way more. But what did they do to actually merchandise properly on TikTok Shop is they created a 10 serving entry-level pack. So they're viewing things in a couple ways. Number one, you don't want to be sending your samples in a really costly way. So when you send an affiliate the product, like you don't want to send them your full expense drink 12 pack, right? You want to send them like a 4-pack and then have them sell the 12 pack. That way you're saving costs on the sample side of things, but you're also selling the product at full price when they create the affiliate video. So Everyday Dose did this really well. They created a 10-pack entry-level SKU, and they led into their affiliate strategy. Oh, this is something that you can, if you've been on the fence, this is your time to try. And that has worked really well for them to get into the algorithm, which eventually they'll have a lot of customers that just want to order the bigger one. Like that's the LTV game long-term on TikTok Shop is you do own the CRM. It's just not email, if that makes sense. So like you do have your customer list. It's a list of TikTok usernames, and you can push offers to them in the DM. You can, send abandoned cart reminders, whatever. You just can't email them. But I would actually argue getting in someone's DMs is probably better than sending them an email for like 95% of people in the US.
I'm waiting for there's probably going to be a tool eventually where you could scrape these accounts and pull their emails, if not already.
It's really hard. People have talked about, I've had so many founders come to me and be like, well, what if I just like scraped all 150,000 of the emails of my followers? And I'm like, that'd be illegal. So Meta would be really mad at you if they found out. And it's also just like blatantly illegal and hard.
Or what have you used? What is Adam Robinson's tool?
Yeah, retention.com.
No, not retention. The other one. He launched a new one and it's like this other one called like not Smart Inbox, but where it can if it is US based, it could look at the traffic source and the individual visiting the website and pull the data off that.
The challenge will also always be you're breaking into ByteDance's territory. Like they're not letting anyone go scrape their user data. They're already getting banned by the US government, but they're not. So that's why you're watching this video. So either low risk or high value is the other one. What is high value? That's boosting your cart. That's how you're going to boost your AOV. So if you're a low AOV brand, you don't want to give the discount on your $15 item, right? You want to give your discount on buying 3 for $45, get $10 off, because that's the main method of cart boosting in TikTok Shop. Oftentimes it's not like, you don't have the same experience where someone clicks the checkout and you can display an offer and an upsell. You don't have the headline banner that says, spend 100 to get free shipping. You have to get them right there on the product. So displaying that offer in A, your creative, and then B, through your promotions tab is super important. So that's how you're going to boost your AOV. But those are really the two ways that you can sell your hero product. Is like, it's either got to be a low risk trial, or which is, both price point and quantity, or it's got to be high value, where they feel like they're getting a ton of product for like a really reasonable rate. So the second component of blowing up on TikTok Shop is absolutely the affiliate stuff. And we've talked a few times about different case studies. Everyone's kind of aware of Goalie and what they've done to blow up using incentives. Now, I have a few affiliate accounts that are not burners, but like we post from there when a brand is really early. Like we post from these affiliates to get them initial traction that we own. And so we get all the DMs from all the brands. And now it's like, NeuroGum launched this thing called NeuroCoin. It's like you accumulate coin for getting views, you accumulate coin for getting likes. Like there's different ways to get coin, which is not directly tied to GMV, which is dope because that gives creators more incentive to produce volume, even when their sales are not coming. Like some videos will actually get like 300,000 views, but just won't convert that well.
Yeah.
And so that's still valuable to the brand. Like
100%.
Still shows great signal to the algorithm. This is a product that people want to see. So, how do you get affiliates to work with you? A lot of people start from ground zero. Like this video is for people that are literally launching their TikTok shop on January 1. You're going to have to do a few things. So number one is you're going to have to find your rep. You're going to have to find like a partner agency or something who's going to help you get past the outreach limitations. So right now, if you're a brand that has minimal affiliate revenue, then you can't actually do the bot outreach anymore. So they took that feature away. But certain US-based brands, if you're an authorized brand and if you are someone that has, at least a contact at ByteDance, you can get whitelisted to have unlimited outreach. So that's pretty much par for the course. Like if you don't have that available to you, you're going to have to do things the hard way, which is working with various Discord communities, creator communities, stuff like that. There's a few free ones out there. Like right now, we're posting all of our brands in my Discord community. We've got around 400 to 500 creators in there right now. And if you're working with the right agency, they should be able to help activate you that way. But again, I wanted to make this video for people that aren't trying to spend on an agency. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to bust into the creator community and like steal the agencies because you'll get blocked immediately. Like don't try and like backdoor your way into a Discord and say like, hey, like hiring creators for this brand and then like not be an admin on the Discord. That won't work. But it just depends on your budget. If you have like $5,000 to spend on affiliate retainers, then I would honestly start on Twitter. I would, just search the username TikTok organic or just kind of start following the right people on the platform. Like anytime I post that I'm looking for UGC creators, I get like 20,000 impressions, 400 people like DM me trying to work with us. So like these creators are on Twitter and that's where they're actively looking for deals. So if you have an interesting product that's like properly merchandised on TikTok shop, you're going to want to post on Twitter to find your first few creators, probably pay them a retainer to consistently post for you. That's how you're going to get it from just ground zero, no agency, no nothing. Once you have your network of affiliates, weekly calls, briefs. So you have to coordinate a few different things. Number one, what is selling your product? Number two, what is some inspiration in your niche from other top performing videos that are similar to your product? Number three, what offers are you running? Like TikTok is inherently very discount driven because it's such an impulse buy. And so you have to have every affiliate using the discount promo stuff, like language in their videos. Because if not, then you're just leaving money on the table. And then number four is just that motivation component, right? Like you need to keep these people incentivized to keep posting. Like you have to show them like, hey, if you make $5,000, like I'm getting you an iPad. If you make $10,000, like I'm paying for a trip for you to Miami. Like everyone's human. This isn't like a lot of people think you just seed a bunch of affiliates and like revenue will just come in. It's like, no, like these are people that like need to be motivated and led in a certain way. Obviously they have the incentives through the platform, but taking it off platform has been best practice and it's super important. Don't just promise money, promise things that are difficult to get. So like experiences or, some people are promising like a lot of creator led brands, for example, will do a meetup in person. Like a lot of brands will do, Sabrina Carpenter tickets. Like I think that's something that we've started really unlock. We're about to start working with a really big beauty brand and audience is 100% women. So a lot of women wouldn't want the same incentives that Goalie is kind of rolling out, but they would love, Eras Tour, Taylor Swift tickets. Like that would be very specific to their target audience. So understand who your affiliates are and then craft those incentives around who they are.
All right, marketers, we know you love the TLDR, so let's get right to the point. Here are 5 things you can get done faster with Wix Studio. Number 1, you could scale content with dynamic pages and reusable assets. Then number 2, you can integrate with Meta's conversion API, Zapier, Google Ads, and more in just a few seconds. Then number 3, which is a given, and this is A/B tests, where you can create them in days, not weeks, with their intuitive design tools. Then number 4, you could connect to tracking and analytical tools like SEMrush and GA4 in seconds, and manage all of your client social media from one dashboard. All right, if you're ready for more, then go to wixstudio.com. Again, that's wixstudio.com. I think that's something we're noticing, just a shift in the dynamic with working with creators, and the big thing being, in the past it was just pay to post.
Yeah.
Right. You pay $1,000, you pay $500, and with that, and that creates so many problems. It worked back then, 2017, 2018, and you could get significant amount of success with that. But then it gets to the point where, honestly, it's like the creators have the leverage. Like, we need the creators. We need those individuals creating all of that content, because the teams internally can't create that content. And now you have to find ways of incentivizing these individuals and gamifying it and kind of almost making it like a video game. There's levels to it, and you're like not building a My Player, but you're getting very close to, okay, you want the car, or if, it is the beauty brand, you want to go to the Taylor Swift concert and get VIP tickets and backstage. Well, sell X amount.
Yeah.
And you have to understand like the true motives behind some of these individuals to create incentivized game plans specific to the brand. Because the same thing, like, it's not gonna be the same for goalie as that beauty brand, as the same as like then a men's dominant nutrition brand for bodybuilding, right? Like, there's so many different goals and experiences around there that you have to then tailor and create for those individuals.
Yeah. One thing that people fundamentally don't understand is brands are desperate to find more creators.
Yeah.
They need people to sell their product without them being the ones always selling it. We've never lived in an age where word of mouth has been more powerful. Not only do people not believe the average thing they see, they're bombarded with content 24/7, so everything feels the same. And so a peer-to-peer recommendation has never had more weight. And now there's actually an ability for people to make content about your brand and have it get impressions. Like, it can go viral, it can get sales. Like, this stuff has never existed before.
When do you think that's going to shift? At some point, like the same way that we don't trust big media anymore, I think we're going to get to a point where we don't trust creators anymore.
I think
unless they're...
Well, I think it already has happened at the influencer level, right? I think in a partnership that goes wrong is when the brand alignment, it feels like not super authentic. And that's why so many creators are protective about the partnerships they do now. As far as like the grassroots, like affiliate side of things, like the average person, I think it's so video dependent. That's why you have to get volume out of these people, because the average affiliate doesn't make a good video 28 out of 30 times. And so those 2 videos where they actually come off super authentic, the difference is behavior, right, in the feed. So now it's a situation where you forget what you scrolled past 3 slot machines ago, right? It's 3 swipes and you forgot what you already saw 5 minutes ago. So I don't think anything necessarily sticks as it used to. Like, I think when you have this grassroots network of creators, that allows you to get so many shots on goal from a content perspective compared to your brand posting 30 times. If you have 10 affiliates posting 30 times, you have 300 shots on goal. And if, 5% of those are going to go well, now you have a much higher amount of videos that'll actually perform for you. So that, I honestly don't think we're anywhere close to it being saturated, because every video just gets swallowed up by the attention economy. They're all gone in like a minute or 2.
Yeah.
So, moving on to like, is your brand a fit for TikTok Shop? This is a big question I think a lot of people have. And above all else, like, the categories with really big upside right now are supplements, beauty, skincare, apparel, and appliances. Those are all doing really, really well. I think each one of those has kind of pros and cons. Like, supplements allows you to get super creative with the angle and like the problem solution narrative. I think beauty and skincare are the same way, but those are obviously uber saturated. Apparel is the one that I just think is an absolute sleeping giant. Like, how many have you seen Like to Know It?
No.
LTK. It's in like all these girls' bios, basically. Like, girls are already hitting TikTok Shop They're 10, 10 years ahead of us with LTK, because all they'll do is post an outfit on their story and post the link and also have that link in their bio. And they're making like real bread. Like people will go buy these things because girls love to see how clothes look. They want to, see it actually styled rather than just on a flat lay. And they also want someone to have already taken the plunge, like to kind of micro influence them. And so I think apparel is just such a sleeping giant on TikTok Shop. Like just being able to shop the outfit that your favorite influencer is rocking. Like right now, it's definitely a lot of, low quality, like kind of Shein, Temu type of apparel brands. But as the platform matures, I think it's going to be really interesting to see apparel grow on there. And to touch on platform maturity real quick as well, because it seems like TikTok right now is this discount focused platform, right? That's because it's early. If you look at what it's going to be over the long term, FBT, fulfilled by TikTok, is going to be the same as FBA. So why do you go to Amazon? Is it really for deals, or is it to get the product, same day delivery if you need it, or the next day? You want it right now. Yeah. And it's really a demand capture vehicle for that. What happens when TikTok's FBT warehouse network is all across the country and you're getting those things delivered on drones next day after you see this affiliate video? I don't think you're going to have the same set of, discount incentives to get those impulse buys.
It's totally not off topic, but did you see this 70-year-old guy recently that got arrested because there was an Amazon drone flying over his house and he just walked out and just started unloading a clip on it?
No, I didn't.
And he's just in Florida and the cops come. He's like, hey, this is going to be a weird question, but by any chance, did you shoot a drone? He's like, hell yeah. and he's just telling them, he's like, I was working on my pool. This thing kept flying over me. I just unloaded on it. And dude, it was so funny. He got arrested.
Founder-led content is the biggest thing on TikTok Shop right now. And if you don't have budget to hire a bunch of creators, what are the different types of content you can make? So number one, it's product demos. This is you showcasing the product, specifically how it gets used, what's different about it. Second is founder story. So that's obviously the origin behind your business, why you started it. Talk about the why. Why are you different? Number three, product launches. So when you're launching a new SKU, this is an unbelievable opportunity to just put the camera on and start talking about it. You obviously had a reasoning and a thesis for launching that product. Give that on camera to people, maybe in your office. That's always a great way to do it. Number four, promotions. So you announce your sales on TikTok Shop via videos. Those can actually catch the algorithm and start getting a lot of people aware of the, offer that you're running. And number five is the order packing. So this is probably the most effective style right now on TikTok Shop, because why do people love Shark Tank? It's because America just loves entrepreneurs. They want to root for entrepreneurs. What's the most organic feeling content is someone packing orders in a warehouse. You're just kind of giving this behind the scenes of the business that isn't really available elsewhere.
Literally the first piece of content that's going out today for Mertra for Black Friday is behind the scenes of them packing the first orders and then adding some extra bonus electrolytes in the pack.
That's
in
amazing.
The first 10 orders.
That's amazing.
So yes.
There's a few more. I'm just going to rapid fire them. There's flavor walkthroughs, back in stock, sale announcements, comment replies, and enemy marketing. If you are someone who wants, I put together a resource for walking through all these things. It's our founder content playbook for TikTok Shop. We'll go ahead and link that resource in the show notes. It's going to be free for now. I'm going to sell this for probably $500 here in a couple months, but for the Sweat Equity fam, just giving it away. So that is how to kind of start creating founder-led content. There's a few brands you can study. Those are also in the playbook. Brand-oriented content. So you need to become a master of faceless content. You need to become a master of skit content, and you need to focus on creating content that is relatable and shareable. Because if it's not going to get shared, it's not going to get amplified. And I have a brand, another video. I'll send it to Cade. This is crazy. It's his brand, Tiny Trucks. And so their video is just shot on iPhone, sitting on a bed, showing a doorway. And it says, I got my boyfriend a tiny truck, and now he delivers me gifts when I'm angry with him, ... And it's just this freaking truck driving in with a thing of Sour Patch Kids. And that content got 5 million views, several 100,000 likes, and drove countless sales for Tiny Trucks. It literally is a format they have made 15 different times. If you go to their TikTok page, it works like 30% of the time with a new caption. And so that's like, you know, when you're creating faceless content from the brand, like think about how it's like, I'm sending that, you're sending that to your significant other. You're like, ha, babe, like this is us. Like you want people to feel those type of emotions. And then last, when you've overloaded your account with a bunch of content, you're going to authorize all of it for use in ads, and you're going to flip on GMV max at the ad account level. It's a key distinction. Running GMV max from your seller center, and this is deep. If you're at this point in the podcast, hopefully you have a seller center. It's like your Shopify homepage, but running GMV max from the seller center, I have not seen work very well. Running GMV max from the ad account level, it's weirdly a separate product. Like their ads platform is a lot more advanced than their shop platform. If you think about it, it's been around for 5 years versus 2. That has seen a lot of better performance for us across our portfolio of brands. So that's everything I would do to go 0 to 100K is
it's a lot of detail.
Get a bunch of affiliates, create your founder-led content, make sure you're merchandised properly, start running ads, and hopefully that works for some of our listeners.
It's the genesis of a course, bro.
Yeah. It was. Should I put these back on?
You should put them back on. I mean, in reality, dude, like having a course is great. It's so much it's so much more low lift than actually running a company. It's crazy.
Let me tell you, I never thought I would live long enough to become a course bro, but here we are. It's a sad day, but also a very, very exciting day.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, here's my take on courses and I've actually been inspired because I've taken courses and there's courses that I love. The way I'm going to structure this course is I'm going to provide the tools for people to make their side hustle income and then that first opportunity. So I think what's really important about courses is people don't always follow through. They get like 40% through the course and then they give up. And if you create the course and give them the opportunity to actually act on the things that they just did, and the incentives are right. Like, I'm selling you this information so that you can build a side hustle. Here's the opportunity with a name brand. Like, you know, these brands that I'm working with, like they're ripping on TikTok Shop. Like, go participate in that upside. I don't think there's anything else that I can do to make people successful with the course, sure. Right? Like, so hopefully that creates a lot of winners through it. And hopefully this is a vehicle where brands are able to really launch campaigns effectively. I think that's the other thing is this, you know, ecosystem's really hard to crack without this infrastructure. And so I get all these people asking me to help out, and I think we can offer like the right incentives to help them.
Couldn't agree more. All right, I'll rip through mine fairly fast. So what I wanted to do is essentially do a version of my good content versus bad content. I've been doing something lately where I have this Google Doc that's like daily content learnings, and I'm trying to learn like 1-2 things every single day about something net new about content, right? Because I'm consuming, so it's so easy to get into this habit of just consuming and be like, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And so I'm forcing myself to take those things that I'm learning and just put them into a doc and like actually write them out and being able to consume it that way. And so it's been pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is, the only way that this is gonna be cool for both you and I is if I share each clip with you as I go, but I'll go fairly rapid fire. So I'm gonna share one clip with you and I will text it to you when you open that up. So this is a clip from Adriatic Hotels, and I want to explain why I love this. So this video got, I think, 500,000 or 600,000 views in comparison to a lot of their other content. And when I even look at a lot of other hotels, you even look at a company like Four Seasons and their Four Seasons Serengeti or their Four Seasons Croatia. It doesn't matter. They don't do a good job of, one, adapting to the platform, and 2, creating native content to the platform that the platform. I
know why you said platform, because you're on that honeymoon shit.
Yeah,
that's why you got that's why you got this Croatia
platform.
You're thinking about a platform, not a platform.
And so here are the learnings from this piece of content. So again, this is their top performing post that they've ever had. So the first one is, it plays into a relatable experience, right? As somebody that likes to travel a lot, the headline is POV, you find the most iconic hotel in Croatia. Not one shot is from inside the hotel in Croatia. It is all about the experiences from that the hotel essentially gives you. By staying at this hotel, you're going to experience all of this as well. But if you pay attention to every shot is a visual hook, and every shot only lasts maybe a second, if that. It's like 0.7 seconds,
the 0.7 cuts,
Yeah. Basically, like somebody jumping off, a quick shot, a shot of a grandmother getting out of the water. Doesn't matter what, but it's all of these different really visual hooks with this POV. Really nice. Again, 0 shots of the whole hotel. It's all shots around the building, or like the essentially desire building is like what I've been calling it. It's like you have a desire. How do you continuously build it, right? You're manufacturing desire with their content because you really want to help people visualize the experience. The next piece of content I'm going to send you is from the Four Seasons Serengeti. Ironically, I actually stayed here. I don't know if I've ever told you this story.
I never heard about your safari adventures.
I got to stay at the Four Seasons Serengeti. Okay, let me give this story.
This is great.
Okay.
What are these? Are these wildebeest?
Yeah, there's wildebeest.
What's running around in this prairie?
It's crazy. So let me give you the backstory. The pod deserves it.
Okay.
2020, so COVID. I had a trip that I got hired for to go to the Four Seasons Serengeti and like film. It was like in my content creator days. And it was with Firestone and like the tire company and another company. I don't remember what company it was. So they hired us, or they hired me. It was just me, but I got to bring a +1, so I got to bring Vanessa. They hired me to go to the Four Seasons Serengeti and get a room, the whole 9, right? The week before we're supposed to go, COVID gets announced as like being this big thing. Everybody's freaking out. They cancel the experience, or they cancel the event, and they're like, "Hey, like we already bought your tickets. If you want to go, go."
That's crazy.
And I was like, "Say less."
That was during a great part of COVID too, where you could hop on a plane and there was no one on that thing.
It was still busy. No,
Really?
It was still busy because it was
no COVID in Africa, huh?
None. There was none. There was no the week we got back, the day we got back actually, or the following day we got back is when Texas locked down. So we fly to the Serengeti, which is another crazy story because of 6 flights. And like the flight into the Serengeti is a tiny plane. I'm talking about like 2 more of these tables. Yeah, 2 more of these tables combined as the plane, and you just land on the ground.
It's my deepest fear.
Crazy.
I don't know if I could handle it.
Yeah, and you fly right over. I forgot what volcano it is, but
Mount Kilimanjaro.
We did fly over Mount Kilimanjaro, but I think there was another volcano. Anyways, so we get to the Four Seasons Serengeti. Because it was reserved, nobody was there. Everybody was just serving me and Vanessa.
That's awesome.
And so they upgraded our room to the villa that was $8,000 a day. And so our villa overlooked the entire Serengeti. And so like when you opened our curtains, you would just see lions and elephants walking right in front of our room.
Yeah.
There was an infinity pool outside of in our room.
Your villa? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm talking about like a big infinity pool overlooking the entire thing. You just would see baboons coming in. I have this video of me and Vanessa left. When we came back, we walk into the villa because it was like a 2-story villa. And we walk into the villa and there's a baboon just trying to rip our door open.
Damn.
Which was insanely scary.
He's trying to get that motion. I'm surprised Zara's not 4 after hearing this story.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
That was the other thing. It was we went to some dinner and they were like, "Hey, like, do you want a bottle of wine or do you want some wine?" We're like, yeah. We just get to the room and the wine, it was just 2 bottles of wine. And it was just in the bathtub. And I was like, this is insane.
No, they get down at the Four Seasons.
I got it's an entire experience. But anyway, so the reason I pull up this clip is because, so what you'll see here is, they have a hot air balloon experience that they do. Mm-hmm. They have multiple photos and carousels of the hot air balloon. One in the wrong ratio, 1-to-1 ratio versus a 4-to-5 ratio, which is what the platform rewards. Or 2, just random photos of the hot air balloon experience. Which again, it's a beautiful experience. The difference is when they shared this video, which is you can tell is just shot on iPhone with yes, the zebra's running and the hot air balloon. What happens? It becomes one of their most viral videos. Mm-hmm. And the whole point of me saying this is great content isn't great content if it's not adapted to what the platform rewards. The platform rewards Reels right now. It rewards 4x5 carousels. And so knowing that information, you can't live in the past of this is what used to work. You have to adapt that content into what worked in the past to what's working now. So imagine, or the image of the hot air balloon performs okay because again, it is visually appealing, but it's never going to compare to how good it could perform if it is the real version of the hot air balloon, right? So you got to take winning content and adapt it to the platform and what the platform rewards. The next one that I want to go through, and this one I think you'll actually really dig, is, have you heard of Carry On Airlines? It's actually not an airline, so let me send it to you. They're a 90-minute cocktail experience set inside of a 1970s inspired first class jumbo jet lounge, which is kind of cool. Like the way you're dressed,
this is sick.
You would fit in right here.
Should I take the glasses off?
Now the cool thing is, what I really like about their page is the fact that, hold on, I pulled up the wrong thing.
These guys are OD.
OD, right?
Yeah.
And
this is sick.
It's super cool. So the learning here is, if you have an in real life experience / vibe, then you need to use social to communicate, scale, and amplify that vibe. The post that I showed you has nothing to do with showing what cocktails they make, because that's not what people care about. Everybody can make the same cocktails. What people care about is the nostalgic vibe, the vibe that they're going to be a part of, the experience that they're going to get from it. And so what they've done very well is to create that feeling and to communicate that feeling, they create skits. Very similar to the one I just showed you. The guy's just like lighting a cigarette or lighting a match or something along those lines. He's in his aviators. He's in a pilot uniform. And it creates, and even the visual aesthetic of like the nostalgic look, the faded colors, kind of lower saturated colors, all plays into it. So you have to understand what is the emotion you want to evoke. And then you have to create the skit to evoke it, right? And then you have to use a character, a setting, and a visual aesthetic to bring it to life. The next one is the go-to. Have you seen them? So the go-to is your destination for elevated gifting, which I think I just sent to you the link. If not, I will send it. I did not send it. Okay. Just shot it over. Very similar to Carry On Airlines. Their whole thing is about gifting, right? And luxury gifting. When you look at their page, their entire page is the same thing. It feels like you're on Pinterest. And the thing I love about that is you're essentially creating this idea of a mood board, and people have, you essentially want to match your ideal customer's mood board and then being able to integrate product into that mood board. So it feels like the way that you complete your mood board is by purchasing something, because the truth is aesthetic attracts. And so you could use the aesthetic and the vibe as the visual hook and curiosity builder, then use it like the go-to does, then you could use the caption to communicate whatever needs to be communicated. The thing I like about their product shots, as you like go through a carousel of their product shots, is their product shots are almost like they're recreated scenes of a movie or of a shot list versus just focusing on the product. And it takes you into like this moment of time, whether it's like a Christmas movie or a holiday movie, whatever it is. They've basically recreated like these little moments with their product. Something as simple as putting something on the Christmas tree, but it's like this nostalgic shot. It looks like it was shot on film, and it's so much better than the typical product shots. And I think this is a huge thing of take your mood board, take what inspires you, and look at those images and be like, okay, let me just recreate this with my product in it. Right? And now your product becomes part of a vibe and not just a product that you're trying to sell.
Yeah, it's like you're creating that shared vision with your customers.
100%.
Yeah, everything that you just described, Carry On, especially the go-to. Both of these are doing such a good job of like this concept that people want to resonate with stuff on social. Like the algorithm is so good that you want to be in their interest graph. Like
100%.
If you're into there's all these sorts of like viral posts about like, look what they took from us. And it's like how first class flights looked back in like the 1960s, or how coach looked back in the 1960s. Or there's also the Pan Am nostalgia of how airlines used to be, where everyone wore a suit on there. They're smoking cigs. Like it was just this kind of very nostalgic vibe. And I feel like Carry On really knows that. The go-to, this is
very similar.
Very
Look
similar.
at this next one I sent you. This is my favorite. One of my favorites.
I saw this.
Yeah. So
really
I think this brand's called Mertra. And the main takeaways, you look at this video, it has 440,000 likes or something.
Yeah, just
something
went
absolutely
nuclear.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The takeaway from this is a product-based content can go viral if you can educate and sell visually without having to educate and sell. Right? You watch this video and you see all the use cases and everything that needs to be communicated about the product in 5 to 7 seconds, but in a way where the entire time you kind of have this, one, you're glued to the screen. Two, it creates this feeling in your head, or like this emotion in your head of like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah.
And then it forces you to read the caption to understand that, what does it say? It's like heat. Damn it. Give me a second. I have so many
POV, your puffer jacket just doesn't do this. Heat reactive puffers. Yeah.
Like it forces you to understand. It forces you to read the caption and be like, oh, this is a heat reactive puffer jacket.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of lessons in here where this is honestly a very simple shot to do. Like there's, in some ways, and when I mean simple is this is one on a storyboard.
You don't get that flamethrower though.
Yeah. I meant more so like from a storyboard perspective, this is one shot.
Absolutely.
Hey, stand here. You're going to be standing in front of a mountain, and everybody's going to do this. We're going to throw paint on you. We're going to throw this. We're going to do the flamethrower. We're going to put our hands on you. It's very simple in theory, how it's executed, but all of like the key components, again, I think one of the biggest things with products like this, it's how can you communicate the benefits or the differentiation, any of these aspects visually, because that if you can communicate it visually, you'll be able to sell it very easily.
Yep.
Again, and that's because they're not telling you what and how, why, they just show you.
Yep.
They show you, and it creates enough curiosity where you want to do the research and do it. But again, like it went absolutely nuclear. 440,000 likes.
12 million on Gram is crazy.
I can only imagine how many views it got. So just some content lessons here before we wrap it up. Just some quick takeaways from a lot of this content. I'll be back next week dialed with a playbook.
I thought that was pretty good, honestly. I mean,
I was scrambling like 15 minutes before we recorded. Like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about?
Yeah, but I mean, in the same way that brands, gotta bring people into a world. We gotta bring people to our feeds, because if there's one thing Instagram knows, it's that I'm trying to find some case studies. Yeah, that they're always bringing me just random interesting shit.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I've heard a good concept of you should just make an inspo account where you create an account. Yeah. Go follow a bunch of accounts that you like, because all you'll get recommended on your For You page is things that inspire you.
That is all of those TikTok shop affiliate burners that I said. They're literally like probably 80% of the feed load is TikTok shop videos that are just viral. And like, it's so easy to like send that to my team and just be like, go recreate this. Yeah. Great artists steal. That's what they always say. Well, if you're still watching this, I got one request for you. If you're not subscribed to the podcast on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music, please give us a subscription. Helps us grow this and, try and continue to provide value for everyone that's listening. That really helps us out a lot. Reviews and sharing it as well. But if Alex is done, I think we'll just catch y'all next week.
That's a wrap.
All right. Peace.